Welcome to the Jay Tyner Show, where we discuss all things wealth management and retirement planning. And as always, the goal of our team here at Semmax Financial Group is to help you focus more on your life and less on your money. Now, as a reminder, check with your current advisor, planner, CPA, and read our disclosure in the video description below. Subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date on all of our new content. And by the way, if you have questions or need a 15-minute free consultation, please visit semmax.com or call 336-856-0080. All right, we're back with the top 10 tips for retirement planning, and we're in part 2 now, so we're going to number 6. So we got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the last 5. Number 6, we're starting with you. By the way, Matt Landon, Jay Tyner here, and run with it.
All right. So number 6, practice retirement spending now.
Spending? Now, I can spend all my money?
Yeah, that's right. Just practice spending it now. Now, here's the thing. There's a general rule of thumb that's well versed, well established. You've probably heard that says you're going to need to replace about 80% of your income in retirement. Now, here's the thing with the rule of thumb. It doesn't always apply. I would say go ahead and start practicing living off of the income that you think you're going to need in retirement. Start tracking your spending. Start paying attention to where it is. I can't tell you how many people I've sat down with, and one of the first questions I ask is, okay, how much do you think you're going to need in retirement? And I get a
kind of a blank stare.
I don't know.
Okay.
And then they tell me what they're making now. And I go, well, that's not addressing what you're going to need. So I would say starting now, start thinking through, start tracking your spending. Look at what are we going to need in retirement income.
Okay, so again, if you're spending, say, $10,000 a month right now, try living off $8,000 a month. Is that kind of what you're saying? Just kind of figure out if that's going to work? Or?
Even more than that is determine exactly how much you are spending now. Because you may not know if you're spending $10,000 now,
exactly.
Or are you spending 8, or are you spending 12? That I would start with finding out what that number is before you start adjusting your lifestyle. Just know what it is currently.
All right, tip number 7. Did you take out a coronavirus hardship withdrawal? Now, this is real important. So a lot of folks did use some of those special rules that we had under the CARES Act and some other things. And so they've done some unique income planning or withdrawals or things that you better make sure you pay the taxes on that. So if you did do a withdrawal, you actually had the ability to pay the taxes on that over, I think it was 3.
It was a 3-year period.
It was a 3-year spread year of time. So let's say you had a tax bill of $30,000 because you took $100,000 out of your IRA. Let's just say the tax bill was 30. You can spread that out over the 3 years. Now, here's the tip I'd like to give you. Find out which year is going to be your lowest taxable income year, and I'd probably pay it then. Do you have any other advice on that? Because that's where I would probably go.
Yeah, I would. When it comes to that, I also lean towards sooner rather than later. I just don't like that kind of thing hanging over your back, but I think you need to have a clear plan as far as when you're going to do it.
So sooner, but also in a year that you think is going to be your lowest
strategically.
Strategically.
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
Matt, go with number 8.
All right, so number 8 is reassess your post-risk tolerance, your post-crisis risk tolerance. So what happens is when the markets are going up, everything's green, I'm feeling good. You look at Jay, how do you feel?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm good. Yeah, throw it all. Throw it against the wall.
Right.
Pedal to the metal, man.
All right,
things
here's
are
what
great.
happens. Market does this.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, I don't feel quite as good as I did about it, right?
Okay.
I think now's the time to take a step back, reassess, how do I feel from a risk standpoint? You know, when we have this kind of a crisis, it's easy to think when the market's going up, all signs are green. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to stop being aggressive, but I think you need to reevaluate, how do I feel from a comfort factor? Where am I? Because that risk tolerance, that's not saying how aggressive you need to be or how conservative you need to be. This is saying, where are you from a comfort factor? And that's something that's going to be evolving and changing over the entirety of your retirement.
Okay. All right. Well, number 9, consider part-time work in retirement. You know, a lot of people have just sat down with me and they've said, Jay, we're ready to retire now, but we're not quitting work. We just want to quit what we were doing. We'd love to do something that is more energizing, we're more passionate about, and we don't really need to make as much money. It'd be nice to make a little, but the key is,
So I met with someone a couple months ago. He told me, I cannot wait. He said, my last day is Friday, and I start my new job on Monday. And I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm raking sand traps 2 days a week. Green fees are covered. He couldn't be happier.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're a golfer, I can see that. I had a guy say he just loved to go work at Lowe's. I mean, he's a little hobby, kind of into that hobby of home improvements, and he says, man, I get rid of all the stress. He'd stand out there and just help folks. And
I love that guy because I never know what I need.
Yeah, well, you need those guys, but do something with less stress and enjoy something that you do when you're in retirement. All right, last tip, number 10,
Last
how
tip
about
is
postponing?
should you postpone your retirement? There's a lot of people who are saying, okay, there's a lot of unsettled things kind of out there. Maybe I should just hold on, work a little bit longer. That's something that you really want to sit down and address with if you have a partner or a spouse, you want to sit down with them and talk through it, but then also sit down and talk with it with your advisor. You may have that question of kind of saying, okay, I know we had this plan. Am I still comfortable? Well, the best thing to do is sit down, rerun the numbers, look over things, and just kind of take it with fresh eyes. There's nothing wrong with asking that question over again.
So 2 tips there on postponing your retirement. Make sure your plan is current, that you've got it up to date. And if you don't have a plan at all, I would advise coming in and get a plan. It doesn't mean that you sit down with an advisor and you have to retire. It just means, hey, I got a plan here, and I can use that whenever I need to. If I need to retire in 6 months or a year and a half or 2 years, I've got all the numbers worked out, and it's good all the way out to age 90. So that is the second set of tips that we had for 10 tips on retirement, and we appreciate y'all joining us.